Got us Ori over for the team. One, look at the cheese down, wow, with a big convoke. That's gonna knock him up in the air with the sounds. Wow, get hit with a bash. Ori, look at the blast him out. Oh my goodness. Ori swiping him out in the bear form. Wow, having to go for Icebug that early. Oh, Ori, by the way, I can't even tell what that Mog looks like because it's all blue for you. Gonna be nature lockout for Ori. Try to pick up another star. Does have a star, could charge out of WoW if he wants. So it looks like maybe Ori's gonna potentially charge out at him, looking to interrupt him. It's gonna knock him up in the air. Triple shield is up, but just burning through it really quickly. Ori with the bark skin, gonna be the cosmic trinket. Looks like he's gonna bow out of there. Looking to reset behind the pillar. Full combustion down for the mage as Ori bark skins us and hoping to live it. Wow, just blasting him out with big combustion damage as Ori looking for the heal but cannot find it. Gonna be an interrupt out of WoW. Ori does go into bear form. Needs to probably go for friends of region. Worst up with a cyclone to WoW. Could potentially be a trinket, likely breath. Oh, whoa, Ori could be in a bad spot. As a fireball comes out, WoW almost lands into Ori. Just needs one more ability, one more damage ability to just get Ori low enough. Gonna be that clone out of the druid either way. But that Mog looks... Is that Mog different than it was in PTR, boys? I feel like that Mog looks a little different than it was in PTR. I don't remember it being so... I remember it being more gray than like porcelain looking. Bash onto WoW is interrupted and silenced while standing inside of the solar beam, looking for that shifting power. Ori does knock him back. I was gonna say, does he typhoon him? Gonna be leaping towards WoW with an explosion with that star, looking to knock up WoW as he bumps his head on the bridge. Gonna be a regrowth for Ori as he's running while casting. This man is going for the Starfall casting moving build. A quick roar by Ori, picking up yet another star. Could charge out of WoW with it. Looks like it's exactly what he's gonna do, but the root doesn't let WoW go anywhere. Or needs to make sure he's inside of an eclipse because those stars, they do astral damage, which is nature and arcane. And if he's inside of an eclipse, which either buffs nature or arcane, depending if it's solar or lunar, leaping out of that ring of frost, I like it. If he's inside of an eclipse, it buffs anything that's astral damage. Because if he just buffs one, it'll buff the other. However, if he enters celestial alignment, he buffs both. He gains 3 double dips into it. Another, oh, power shift and just a knockup. Wow, look at the CC chains Ori got. He's just interrupted this mage constantly with those knockups. Got himself mobility with that Starfall, doing a bit of extra damage. Ori just super mobile this round. Soul Shade for WoW, I think he's trying to land a breath. Gonna be a Cyclone attempt by Ori. WoW does get himself a triple shield rolling. Knock back into WoW, Ori is gonna land himself a clone either way. Looking for that recovery on health. Absolutely crazy duels by this druid. He's going for some of the most unorthodox plays I've ever seen. Trying to maybe land a cyclone onto WoW as he goes in for a fireball. Going to be a combustion. Silenced on fire completely. Is continuing to stand inside of the solar beam. Got himself big combustions for Ori. Ori has massive damage rate to go very soon. Convoke massive damage onto WoW. Does he have any way to survive it? It's going to be cauterized right now. It has ultra time. Star Surge. Oh, and Ori has a seed out in the open. I think WoW actually might have canceled that seed. He was like, you know what? Good game. Good game. Damn, Ori popping off. Ori still has incarnation, by the way, versus Sensei. He's trying to go for a bow. He's trying to give him a nice bow. And Sensei is going to go for a bow of his own. Ori has incarn. He has a lot of potential damage, but he's just letting Sensei chill. He's not rushing him, even though I feel like he should have every reason to do so. As it's going to be leg sweep trick immediately for Ori. Since he's the BDB, going to be Zoom joining in. Going to be a knockback onto Sensei. And Ori looking to bail out of there completely with that soul shape. Just trying to snake his way out of this situation. And so far been able to avoid any burst damage out of Sensei. Did burn a trigger for it. Trying to see if he can go for a juke. Doesn't quite get the proper juke. Is going to go for a bash so you can separate away from Sensei either way. Trying to get some dots rolling onto the monk. Going to be a port for the monk as he gets up close to Ori. Looking for maybe potentially big damage. Cyclo by Ori so you can separate away from the monk threat. As Sensei ports up on the top side of the platform in cap onto Ori. Is looking to get some damage in. Ori with a Whirling Dragon Punch does take damage, but it's going to be able to mostly avoid Sensei. Cyclone to follow. Actually, non-DR'd. I'm surprised Cyclone was in DR by this point. Did he just Cyclone the guy? Oh no, he attempted to and he got interrupted. That's what it was. Bash by Ori. Silence. Full burst on Sensei. Does he have the most damage? Sensei is under trouble. Gonna be a Karma. Is gonna be able to burn through a Karma very quickly. Ori with the bark skin as he gets hit with the leg sweep. Gonna be a knock up on the Sensei. Sensei super low in health. Oh, Ori just kept it cool and collected as he's just getting absolutely decimated by the monk. And Ben Affleck is going to be up next, setting up a gateway with Demonic Portal just porting into Ori. Mortal Coil hits immediately. Ori is going to be under a ton of pressure. Stun. Ben Affleck just extending all those dots. Fully max out the dot damage. Ori could at least remove Agony at best, but he's just under a ton of pressure. Going to be potentially the Shackles, but doesn't quite get it. Sun onto Cyclone onto Ben, but I think Ori is dead to dots. Ben Affleck just got the craziest, biggest dots ever. Is this man like a full versatility mastery build or something? Like the biggest dot damage you ever could imagine? Is that what's going on? Chilpa is going to be up next as Ben goes for a quick drain off of that slime pet. As Chilpa should be able to grip him down. Silence on the Ben Affleck jumping after him. And the pet empowered. Trying to see if he can catch the Warlock is going to chain of ice as Ben does contagion his dots, allowing him to rapidly tick on the enemy target. Chilpa's taking a bit of damage as Ben goes for a quick fear with a drain soul, a drain life rather. Quick board by Ben, and Chilpa's is going to be taking a bit of that damage, sacrificing his ghoul pet and summoning a new one. Quick yoing from a mile away onto Ben, who's going to jump under. He's just going to let those dots stick down on Chilpa's, stunning him. Chilpa's could potentially trinket out of it. Doesn't quite want to. He's going to go for an interrupt into Ben Affleck, having to go for as many death strikes as possible just to heal through the damage. But the damage, I mean, it's really ramping up. Ben, again, contagioning his dots, making him tick rapidly onto Chilpa's, fearing him out of the antimagic zone, or at least attempting to Lichborn up for Chilpa's. So he might be able to use the runic power to heal himself with Death Call while Lichborn makes him an undead. And Ben Affleck actually focusing damage and the healing off of the pet. I guess he's trying to make sure he's avoiding Chilpa's, what's it called? Spell Warden, which has gotten nerfed recently, in order to actually get some healing, because if he has AMS or Spell Warden, if you drain life and absorb, it doesn't heal you. So that's why Ben Affleck is likely draining the pet. Even though the pet is basically lifeless, he's draining whatever remnants of life it has in it. Stun onto Ben Affleck as he goes in for full defensive. Army of the Dead joins in. It's going to be UA getting set up fully. Ben Affleck has full burst available. It's going to rapid contagious dots. Could potentially go for full max out on dots with the Dark Glade and everything. So alright, getting set up, definitely gonna go for full burst. Chilpa's at this point just needs to find a way to survive. Does get interrupted on Ben Affleck, but he's still just getting rotted down. Needs to go for a flash drive. Does get himself a big shield to survive this damage. Still taking out that shield. He getting eaten away by all those rapid dots, just contagion upon him. Oh my god, those dots are just brutal. Ben Affleck trying to go for a stun around the corner. Mortal Coil at Chilpa's as he goes for a trinket. And Ben just doesn't leave at all. He's just relentless. Drain life of the pet as he catches up on a lot of healing. Chilpa's left with just a couple of dots behind the pillar. Not much you can really do just to take out. If he pokes his head out, Ben is just going to reapply those dots. AMS is up for Chilpa's. Might be able to give him a break he needs. Needs a little bit more runic power. Ben Affleck goes for a big board. Chilpa's potentially could go for a grip. Is going to go for a death call spam. With Chain of Ice, should be able to generate a lot of resources. Ben just back it up out of here. Most likely going to go for a port, isn't he? Just letting the dots rot down Chill. Chill has a really long AMS, by the way. How is this thing lasting? Does he have a legendary for AMS? That's a really long lasting AMS, but that thing lasted for like 15 seconds. Or something like that. So far, Chilpa is trying to see if he can rot. He's the class that's supposed to be able to rot down the enemy target. Drop down the ghouls, clawing down the enemy, putting up full dots on him. Letting the enemy contagion with diseases, but Ben Affleck is the one with the debilitating dots. Spellborn trying to keep Chilpa's life as best as possible. Does have AMS when he catches up to Ben. Trying to see if he can get an angle on him. Stun around the corner. Ben taking a bit of damage from the pet. More to call into Chilpa's. Potential full dots on Chilpa's right now. Does get the AMS rolling, but Ben Affleck can't really go for any kind of self-heals. It's going to be a silence as the Army of the Dead joins in. Used to get the Army of the Dead over to Ben. Does need to go for a grip around the corner. That AMS is going to last for a long while, but only for so long. Whoa. When Spellward and AMS pop on together, they like make a... Whoa, the combination of blue and green actually makes it pretty cool. It's like a really, really bright light blue. It's like a really light blue AMS. That's kind of cool looking. Unstable Affliction for Ben Affleck. As he tried to land a Soul Rod, full dots, full contagion. Chilpa's only has an ABF. Trying to drain life over the pet. Chilpa's has no way to interrupt it. Gonna be anti-magic zone for Chilpa's with IBF. Just trying to give himself as much survivability as possible. Drain life huge for Ben. Is gonna give himself a lot of healing. Trying to go for Checkers Malediction. Oh, rotting down the Death Knight. Where's the Spell Warding getting nerfed? I think a lot of that pressure by Death Knights is kind of out of the window. Wolfie trying to max out the damage on the Ben. I think kind of getting baited to jump off the edge. Gonna be Ben jumping off. Is most likely gonna have a port. Yep. Acid Contagion, his dodge, they're gonna be rapidly taken away at Wolfie. Is gonna be rotting down quite a bit. Does go for a drain life on the Earth Elemental. Full of life summoned up by the Shaman. Look at to land a fear onto Wolfie. I think Wolfie just missed that interrupt. Wall is up for Ben Affleck. Needs to go for a Dark Pact as soon as possible. Get himself as many shields as he can. He's gonna go for as many dots and just kite out Wolfie. Wolfie without wall. Big Ellie Blast back into Ben Affleck. The Warlock could be in trouble. Does go for an interrupt on that Flesh Scout, trying to go for Drain Life, but it's going to be a quick interrupt. Soul Rod up for Ben Affleck. Looking for Drain on both the Ben and Wolfie. He was actually able to recover quite a bit of health. It is going to extend the dots onto Wolfie as well as the dots onto that pet. Wolfie's under a ton of pressure. Wait, Wolfie could be in really bad trouble. That's kind of think Drain with the Drain Life going to be way up. Wolfie under a ton of point. Does he just melt to the dots? Wolfie under a ton of pressure, just suffering from the dots and diseases. Affleck actually might have him. Wolfie. Oh no, Soul Shaper on the corner. Ben just trying to keep him. I keep missing his name all the time. Ben trying to see if he can get around the angle. Gonna be asunder by Wolfie. Interrupted Ben. Drain life. Is that enough for him to live? Oh, how does he do it? How does this man do it? Monocle into Orc before he can even land and execute. What is this? Can't kill that? It's insane. Wow, that is crazy. The Affliction Warlock self-healing with Drain is incredible. Ban is, I mean, dude's doing well. Ban is doing fantastic. Trying to land a stone into Orc. That's going to be Drain Life, trying to get whatever healing. There's no way you live that. At best, he could just put up some dots on Orc. He did as best he could. Insane map for Lock. It is. You're right, Seavark. You are correct. Speaking about Seavark, he's popping in next. Versus Orc is given an opportunity to at least land a Flesh Scout. Yo, I want to see Ban play more. I want to see Ban play more. This man is insane. I want to see how well he versus in other arenas. Like in other arena maps. This guy's nuts. Yo, keep that Warlock if you can, boys. Be like, yo, Warlock, can you stick around? You're super fun to watch. Oh my god. This is so good. Orc charging out over versus Seavark is going to be Mirza Torment tormenting him. Touching magic in his subs, but Seavark, as looking to get Orc low enough on health, is going to be silenced as Orc gets up close and personal. Going to be the big parry or big execute, potentially big damage on Orc. Has a reflect for Seavark. Actually, looks like he does reflect big damage, but Seavark does get the angle with that arcane power roll in, and big damage for arcane increase. With Bellator going to be up next. Looking to charge out. I really like Bellator's Mog, by the way. Trying to stay aggressive or get as aggressive as he can versus Seavark. Going to be all the time in case Seavark wants to change up position. Is going to be able to reflect up for Bellator really early. Trying to see maybe if we can reflect some of the damage out of Seavark. Is not going to be able to interrupt him there from the Door of Shadows. As the mage gives himself more repositional, more mobility. Bellator trying to see if he can waddle over to him. He's just getting riddled with the missiles though. It's crazy. A Seavark trying to see if he can get Bellator low enough. Once you get him in that execute ranges though, that is going to be a big barrage that's really hitting Bellator hard. Going for the fear just so you can see Seavark. I didn't realize you could just jump up and fear him like that. Charging around the ramp, and that's going to be that Kyrian Spear. I feel like the Kyrian Spear has maybe way too much travel time. Is it just me? And that's me saying as a rogue, the warriors like will spear you, and I guess you got a cloak, but when you don't have a cloak, I guess you got evasion. And I guess when you don't have evasion, you can disarm him. Actually, you know what? Rogues do have a way to get a spear quite easily. You can't really vanish it. I don't think you can. Well, you can vanish it to like get invisible, but I think the spear will still hold you in place. If the warrior's blade storming, it doesn't really matter. But it's going to be Seavark trying to get Bellator low. Bellator might be in trouble. That's going to be Mirza Torment. Eventually, it's going to set him up. Going to be Arcane Blast, but Seavark just trying to get Bellator low enough. Missiles flying. Going to be Root. Oh, that Root was so unforged. That Root was unfair because he didn't even hit Seavark. He charged at him. Game, hello? I feel like with that Root, it's like as soon as you use an ability, you're rooted. I feel like it should be like when you connect with that ability, you're rooted. Like when you charge, Seavark then gets rooted. I feel like it's more fair than like, hey, I intend to charge rooted.